Hi everyone, it's November 9, 2020. This is Sister Ann. I'm reporting from Los Angeles, Southern California. This message is for the NBA, the NFL, and the pro hockey teams. Listen, I admire your athleticism and your talent, and so does God. Let me introduce myself. I'm a dynamic woman who worked as a cardiac nurse for 18 years. Some of the special procedures hospitals like UCLA Westwood, and I had a beautiful career. However, I had a life-changing event in 2016 which changed my life. A gang attacked me while I was living in Long Beach, California, and I had no place to run. So I remembered the Lord's Prayer. Miraculously, God sent me his angel Uriel, who talked with me like normal and gave me instructions to show the people on earth what is happening around the world and how sin was destroying our country. I am here to make a plea to you from God. Right now, 7.7 billion people live in the world, and of those 7.7 billion people, 821 million people are starving. One child dies every 10 seconds of hunger in America. 34 million people live in poverty, making less than $25,000 a year, including 10 million children living in poverty. Alone in San Francisco, 1 out of every 10 people go hungry. San Francisco is one of the world's most prosperous cities. One was at one time, is now a haven for addiction, crime, and violence. Who's responsible for this crime and violence? Well, folks, it's unusual cruelty and inequality. It is the Democratic political leaders who passed a law for same-sex marriage in 2004. Gavin Newsom passed not only same-sex marriage in 2004, but he recently passed that medical abortion procedures would be offered on university campuses in California. Also, the rise of gang violence. Compare 100,000 members of gangs in 1980 to 1 million youth averaging 17 years old in gangs in today's world. 46 people a day are murdered in the USA. Suicides are up. Over 70,000 people are committing suicide, and death by hanging is on the rise. 130 Americans die every day from opiate overdose. 153 million children worldwide are orphaned, according to UNICEF, which is United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund. And every day, 5,700 more children become orphans. 60 million children are living on the streets today, and more than 17 million children have lost one or both parents to AIDS, and they are now orphans. Please partner with me on my worldwide mission to alleviate human suffering, as I can't do this alone. My phone is 304-881-8072. It is God's will that you help and partner. I have some needs that I need a helping hand with, such as I have paperwork that needs printed and sent out to all the churches in the USA to wake up the sleepers, to show them what we all must do as Christ's soldiers. And I have no money right now, as I have been laid off of work due to the government system. They have marked me, and I have been severely persecuted. I have been denied unemployment 3 times, even though I worked for 18 years and I'm a single mother. I have to travel to different cities. It is the Lord's will to share the gospel of Jesus Christ, to show people a new way. Please provide me resources. I have a name for a foundation. This project would be called Genesis Code. It's an opportunity for you to give back to God and use your platform for God's glory. To whom much is given, much is required. Please connect with me, and to sow a seed financially into my ministry, please go to PayPal and use my email, nurseann2017@gmail.com. Again, nurseann2017@gmail.com. And the Lord has given me a forewarning of coming judgment. We are living in the last days in the revelation of Jesus. If you go to the Revelation 6, chapter 1, verse 8, the four horsemen of the apocalypse. We are right now, I believe, on the pale horse. The first horse was Jesus, the white horse. Jesus divided and conquered his enemies with his bow, and he separated his children. That was a spiritual separation on earth. The second horse was a red horse. He declared war and violence. He takes peace from the earth. And that's why we see the Shiites and the Sunnis, both Islamic, fighting amongst each other. That's why we see the Kurds fighting in Turkey. We see the Palestinians fighting in Israel. We see China fighting with India and wanting to fight now America in a nuclear war. And right now, a black horse, that's the third horseman of the apocalypse, has gone across the world, a famine. He comes and he brings a pair of balances in his hand, which will wipe out the wheat and barley. Right now, a fourth of the crops are being eaten by locusts. In Africa, Somalia, Iran, and Pakistan, a fourth of the crops amongst other countries, Saudi Arabia and Yemen and Uganda, have no food. So that has happened already, that the crops have been eaten by these huge flying locusts. And then the pale horse, the one we're on now, the pale horse declares famine and plague to kill by sword and by wild beasts, the death horse. So we are right now experiencing the pestilences of the plague, and we're also experiencing the famine. And now we'll go into people being killed by the sword in a World War III. So please heed the Lord's forewarning and partner with the apostle that he has chosen to bring the last people in, the multitudes in, to Jesus Christ's loving kingdom. His kingdom is based on love. Please help and partner. God bless.